This is going to be my second video update coming to you from Larnaca, Cyprus, as the sun sets here at the main boardwalk known as Finikoudes, the boardwalk of palm trees. And everyone always asks, where are the people in Cyprus as I'm walking around? And here they are. They're all in Larnaca, Cyprus. Now, this is a popular boardwalk to walk, for people to walk. And it's one of the few places in Cyprus where people can kind of walk around, or at least people enjoy walking around. But Larnaca is it's a nice city. If you ever come to Cyprus, or you're thinking about living in Cyprus, this may be the spot. You have the shops right here, restaurants and shops, and the old town is over there, some hotels around, and then you're just right at the beach. So you can see the beach right there. And it's really nice. It's a nice place to hang out. So let's do a quick video. I don't really have that much news, but let's kind of go through things just for fun. Let's go through some of the news topics that I have pulled up here, in kind of a random order, I guess. We have Kiev, the LNG regime. They are blackmailing the European Union, Europe. And in my morning video, LNG was complaining to the Canadian media how Russia is blackmailing the world with their tactical nukes and their gas and oil and titanium and all their commodities and all of the things that Russia possesses. And they're blackmailing the world. And the world should not succumb to Russia's blackmailing. Well, the Zelensky regime, the prime minister of Ukraine, he was giving an interview to a German publication, and he said that if the European Union does not give Ukraine some air defense systems, some of those German Iris-T defense systems, well, Ukraine is going to flood the European Union with migrants. Because if there is no electricity, heating, or water in Ukraine, this could provoke a new migration tsunami, he said. Going on, note that Kiev is eagerly awaiting for ammunition after Germany provided its Iris-T defense systems. According to Kiev, at least 8 million people have already left the country since February, although some of them have since returned. So this is kind of like from the playbook of Erdogan in Turkey, isn't it? If you don't give us cash or money or air defense systems, well, a whole bunch of people are going to flood into Europe. And we actually have the same prime minister. What's this guy's name? This prime minister of Ukraine. I believe it's Shimal or Dennis. One sec. What is this guy's name? Dennis Shmyhal. He is actually asking the European Union to give Ukraine $9 billion a month. He said Brussels should act quickly to transfer $9 billion, not $9 billion a month, $9 billion that was pledged to Ukraine in May. Not $9 billion a month. They want something like $1.5 billion a month, but he's asking right now for $9 billion, which was promised in May, because the prime minister of Ukraine is saying that Ukraine needs this money in order to pay for government wages and pensions. The most important thing for us is that the money, comes as soon as possible, Dennis Shmyhal told German newspaper Frankfurt Allgemeine Zeitung on Saturday. We need it so that our financial system can survive. Whether it will come in the form of a loan or a grant is less important. Shmyhal warned that in an extremely negative scenario, Ukraine could end up not paying wages and not paying pensions. You hear that, EU? You better get moving and get that $9 billion to so that they can, keep their government afloat. Forget about your own citizens. They don't matter. The citizens in the European Union are of no importance. Get that money to Ukraine right away. I imagine 9 billion could probably help the German public quite a lot, but you know, they're not important. Get that money to Zelensky. Macron is lashing out at the U.S. over double standard energy policies. I love how Macron has had an energy awakening. He's had an economic, commodity, energy, LNG gas, red pilling. That's Macron. He is saying that U.S. trade and energy policies have created a double standard, with Europe left paying higher prices for its natural gas, French President Emmanuel Macron said on Friday. Yeah, who would have thought that shipping gas from the United States, LNG, in tankers would cost more than pipeline gas from Russia? Who would have ever foreseen that? How could you have called that if you're Macron? I mean, we got to cut Macron in France and the French leaders some slack, the EU leaders some slack. It's an honest mistake. I actually thought, I was thinking that LNG shipped from the United States on tankers, crossing all the way over to Europe and then having to be taken off of the tankers and transported around the EU. I would have thought that that's a lot cheaper than pipelining it from Russia. I mean, just common sense, isn't it? So Macron is all upset that the U.S. That these U.S. LNG shippers are charging him a whole lot more for the gas. Well, it's called capitalism, Macron. You don't have anywhere else to get the gas from. So yeah, the U.S. LNG guys, they're going to gouge you. Absolutely. And rightly so. If the EU was dumb enough to sanction Russia, and then dumb enough and weak enough to allow certain forces to blow up Nord Stream pipelines and not say anything and not do anything, well, yeah, you deserve to get gouged. Absolutely. I mean, geez. Oh boy, let's see what other stories we have here in this quick news roundup. So Bild, the German publication Bild, they put out a map showing all the villages and towns that would be flooded if some military decided to take out the Kakhovka hydroelectric power station. Who would want to take out the power station, this hydroelectric power station? Who could it be? So yeah, they put out a map. I'll put it up on the screen so you can see it. The Collective West is saying Russia wants to take out that dam and flood everything. Russia is saying Ukraine is trying to take out that dam, and they're actively trying to take out that dam. This is like the same playbook of the Zaporozhye nuclear power plant, isn't it? It's the same exact playbook. There's no reason for Russia to take out that dam. It doesn't make any sense. But as the Collective West did with the Zaporozhye nuclear power plant, it seems like they're pulling the same trick with this hydroelectric power station, Kakhovskaya, this dam that is going to flood Kherson. Same exact playbook. Let's see. Let me see what other stories I have here. Protests in Moldova, protests in Paris. The protesters were saying, Ursula, shut up. I agree. I agree with that. Protesters in Moldova, they're really pissed off about the rising prices, inflation, energy crisis. And the Moldovan authorities, they got very, very violent with the protesters. And of course, the Collective West is saying nothing, because if it's the government that they like that gets violent with protesters, then it's okay. If it's the government that they don't like and they get violent with protesters, well, then it's, human rights abuses. So we have that story as well. And, well, let's do, oh, here, well, this is a clown world, kind of. Let's just rattle off a couple of quick clown worlds. Zelensky said that the only way he would negotiate with Russia, in another interview, he said the only way he will negotiate with Russia is, and I quote, if they can give us back our territory, if they want negotiations, they should withdraw from our territory and leave us our land within the internationally recognized borders of 1991, and then we will say in what format and with whom we are ready to talk. All right, so Zelensky is sticking to that line. Biden fell asleep as he was being interviewed by MSNBC, which is really interesting that MSNBC didn't like edit Biden falling asleep as they were interviewing him. You can search for the interview. It's kind of interesting that it was MSNBC and they didn't edit it. It leaves me questioning, because MSNBC is always trying to protect Biden, so they just kind of left it in there. I wonder if MSNBC is getting messages from the deep state to start embarrassing Bidenopoulos, Greece's favorite son. And finally, let's do a clown world, another clown world, and this is from Hungary. The opposition party in Hungary, the opposition coalition that got beaten really, really bad by Orban. This was like the coalition that the EU put together of like different parties from the left, from the right, from the radical left, from the extreme right. They cobbled together this coalition to try and defeat Orban during the last elections, and Orban still spanked this EU-funded coalition. Well, anyway, this coalition is now actually holding meetings with EU ambassador nations. They're actually having meetings with various ambassadors from EU countries, and they're talking about Orban, about the government, about human rights, the economy, NATO, Ukraine, as if they're running the show, kind of like a shadow Hungarian government. I thought that was interesting. From what I understand from various viewers in Hungary that have emailed me, they said that this coalition government has like zero popularity. Well, I don't want to say zero popularity, but it's not very popular, this shadow government that has been formed, this shadow coalition, anti-Orban alliance. It's not very popular. That's what I understand from various viewers in Hungary. But yeah, I'll leave it there as I'm walking around Larnaca. The sun is setting. This will be an end to the video. TheDuran.locals.com. Take care.